Big 12 basketball on Fox Sports Net. Iowa State leading the Baylor Bears 19-12. 11:36 to go here at the Ferrell Center. Fizer leading the Cyclones with 14, and a perfect night, if you will, so far for Marcus Fizer. What a feeling it must be for him to be on the roll he's on right now, Jim.
Well, the nice thing about that, he's peaking at the perfect point in the season. 35 points in his last game. We saw him get 35 last week against Texas. Just an incredible performance in the last 4 games for the leading Cyclone performer.
I think nationally, most people would say Kenyon Martin and Marcus Fizer when you talk about Player of the Year nationally. And he has really put on a spurt in the last 5 or 6 games to convince people. Knocked out of bounds. It'll go back to Iowa State.
Nice help by Terry Black, number 24 for the Baylor Bears, doubling down on Fizer. John Flippen, the 7'3 freshman, cannot come close to handling him by himself. Baylor staying in their 2-3 zone defense. They've preferred a 1-3-1 zone most of the season, but trying the 2-3 look here this afternoon.
3 on the shot clock. Nurse has to crank it. Almost hits a 28-footer. Rebound comes off to Baylor, pulling it down that time, Charlie Nahey. Tied up now, giving up the dribble to Flippen, back out to Minor. Flippen tries to tip. Rebound comes off to Rancid.
A nice offensive rebound try by Flippen, just didn't get control of the ball enough to get it back in the net.
Takedown inside. Iowa State is known as the wrestling school, but Baylor has some pretty good techniques right there.
That's what I call a takedown.
Yeah. Baylor picking up its 4th team foul. Take another look at this one.
Whenever Iowa State plays, it's always going to be aggressive, but Charlie Nahey trying to match that aggressiveness here for the Bears. He's a junior college transfer from San Jacinto JUCO down outside of Houston.
That ball deflects off the backboard and goes out of bounds back to Iowa State. So the Cyclones get a real break there. Team fouls, 4 on Baylor, 2 on Iowa State with 10:23 to go here in the first half. Inside to Fizer. A rare miss, the first of the night. Black scrambles after him.
Well, Flippen at 7'3" is able to challenge him a little bit better than Echols was able to.
Black, speaking of challenging, with a rebound to Fizer.
How about that block out by Marcus Fizer? Fundamentally so sound in every phase of the game.
Nurse, he hits the 3, and Michael Nurse, who averages 12, but in the last 3 games, he has gotten 42 of his 48 points from behind the arc. He is 6th in the league in 3-point shooting.
Well, he is just so comfortable. He strokes it with confidence. He's always ready for the ball, and the teammates find him often in the corner. That's where he likes to shoot from the best.
Well, you mentioned, Jim, last year having to play the point. What a relief for him to know, and here's a 5-second count. He's showing he plays some defense. But what a relief that he knows now, I can go set up, I can really look for my shot number 1, whereas last year it was running the whole show.
Well, he and Kantrail, Horton, and Jamaal Tinsley all equally adept at penetrating and kicking the ball off to each other. When defensive help comes, there's got to be an open teammate. They all 3 do it so very well.
And all of that certainly starts with Fizer. When you get so much attention on one guy, everybody else is going to get an opportunity. Here's Hawkins out front as he's in the game for the first time. Tinsley. Back out to Nurse. Hawkins looking low. Johnson. Fizer getting a rare breather. Down low for Rancid. Martin grabs it. Nice miss. And then the good block by Flippen.
And you notice Flippen, he uses those long arms. He never left his feet that time to get the block.
Flippen, 24th block shot of the year. Minor on the drive. Johnson shuts him off.
Demarcus Minor with the balls, the number 3 assist man in the Big 12, not finding many openings here this afternoon to add to that statistic. Now they're going to get another 5-second count if they're not careful.
Look at that. I'm telling you, great man-to-man defensive pressure. Tevis Stukes just eaten up.
Well, when you talk about that belly button to belly button, tight man-to-man defense, there's 3 teams in the league that jumps out at you. Iowa State, Texas, and Oklahoma State all do it so very well.
Turnovers even at 4. Nurse. And Baylor brings it down. 22-12. And this one off the side of Kendrick, turned his back on the ball, and another turnover. Tinsley to Rancic. The block by Kendrick, who came back to make up for his absent-mindedness.
Well, the Bears were lucky there. You never take your eye off the man with the ball. You learned that back in elementary school. Jamie just had a little mental lapse there.
Nahi on the drive. Get out of here, says Rancic with the block.
Rancic said, if Flippin can do it, I can do it one better.
Want to remind you to catch the last word with Jim Rome. He tells it like he thinks it is on the Nightline of Sports Talk shows, weeknights, 11:30 on Fox Sports Net. Catch Romey. We had Roy Williams of the Big 12 from the University of Kansas on the other day. Some very interesting comments from Coach Williams and the tough year KU is having. Boy, the Big 12 tournament is going to be fantastic action this year. Starts for the men next Thursday. Inside, a super pass and the easy deuce for Johnson.
You want to know why Stevie Johnson's the leading field goal percentage shooter in the Big 12? That's it right there. He gets lots of easy buckets off a transition.
Johnson shooting 71% in league games. Here is Fizer with the near steal. Finally completes it. He pulls up. It won't go, and Minor with a rebound.
Another rare miss by Marcus Fizer, the conference's leading scorer, also hitting 62% from the field.
Stukes kicks it out to Minor. Back to Tevis. Stukes in against the big guys. The bucket, no! They're going to wave it off. It's a charge.
Well, naturally, the Baylor Bear fans don't like the call, but it was the correct one. Iowa State there in position on the baseline. They know Stukes is taking it hard to the basket every time they're there to make the stop.
24-12, Cyclones' biggest lead. Baylor fans not happy. Where Baylor, last I checked, was putting it on Texas A&M.
Yeah, they ended up winning, I heard, 10-2. So Bears have now beat Texas A&M last night and today and have another one tomorrow.
I'm Bill Land, along with former Baylor coach Jim Haller. Glad to have you with us here tonight. For Iowa State, been putting on a pretty good clinic in the early going. It's 24-12.
Very nice job by Kantrail. Horton filling the middle, attacking that Baylor trapping defense.
Hawkins looking for Fizer instead to Horton. Going for the three. Rebound Minor. Minor averages 11 points, 4.5 boards a game, along with his third best assist total in the league. Back out to Minor from Black. Kendrick. Had to change the shot in midair. Nice shot by Jamie Kendrick.
Terrific job by Kendrick using his left hand, penetrating to the paint, up and over the Iowa State defenders. Iowa State does such a good job of helping. They cut off that driving lane. He jumped up over him.
Kendrick making it a 10-point game at 24-14. Tinsley kicks it back out. Horton, great ball movement. Hawkins to Fizer. His own. And the second time it goes.
Bill, you said it all right there. Fantastic ball movement by Iowa State. All 5 players touched it on that possession. Fizer finishing it off with the power step to the basket.
16 of the 26 for Fizer. Stukes the jumper.
Nice job by Tevis Stukes going to the baseline real quick. One bounce and the jump shot off balance, but he nailed it. Baylor playing well enough this afternoon to beat some ball clubs, but just not the league's #1 outfit, the Iowa State Cyclones.
5:30 to go in the first half. Iowa State just punched them early. 13-2 roll for the Cyclones out of the gate. And then it's been a swap out since. Fizer, one on the shot clock. Echols the rebound.
Nice job by the Baylor zone that time, keeping the ball out of the middle.
Kendrick with it. He fires the tray. Got it!
Boy, that young man's got his confidence going this afternoon. Coming back from a terrific performance Wednesday night when he had 21 to lead Baylor over Kansas State.
Kendrick's got 5. He averages 9. Plays 29 minutes a night. 26-19. Baylor fans trying to get back into it here as their ball club works its way back. 12 in the shot clock for the Cyclones. Johnson. Black really shadowing Fizer underneath. Tinsley with a miss. There's Fizer with a rebound. And out of bounds to Baylor. Substitution made as Nurse comes back in for Hawkins. As Flippin retreats for the Bears. And Echols back out. I want to remind you the Sunday night fights are coming up, as always, on Fox Sports Net tomorrow night at 7. And a chance to see the undefeated super featherweight, Bobby Peden, as he tries to move up the rankings. That's tomorrow at 7 on Fox Sports Net. The steal, great quickness that time by Horton. All the way for the Dukes.
Terrific ball fake right there on the finish by Horton. He's 6'1", 225 pounds. Looks like a fullback.
Horton averages 9 points, 4 boards a game. And he too could shoot it from the arc at 41%. Out of bounds, Baylor stepping out that time, Demarcus Minor, the junior from Rowlett, Texas. And a timeout is called as Dave Bliss scratching his head over Iowa State's superb performance so far. Horton taking it from one end to the other, 28-19. They're here, all ages. Baylor fans out to support the Bears, who are on the short side. Welcome back to the Ferrell Center. 28-19, it's Iowa State. There was no grinning going on in that Baylor huddle like that from Dave Bliss during the last break, though, Jim.
I can assure you, Dave Bliss coaching at every opportunity to try to make his young squad better. They felt like they had a chance coming in here this afternoon. Just can't get enough outside shots to fall.
Horton with it out front for the Iowa State Cyclones. Early numbers, Baylor just 37% on the year. Baylor shooting 39%, they're 10th in the league. Iowa State's the second best shooting team in the league at 49. They're below that today. Here's Horton with a 3. Flippin with a rebound. Flippin's looked good in his minutes.
Flippin's doing a nice job, but not on that long pass up the floor by Demarcus Minor. Another turnover for the Baylor Bears. That's number 10. You can't throw a long pass against this Iowa State defense. They're too quick and too alert.
Like a bunch of
defensive
backs in football. They're out there covering everything.
Exactly, and the key is they never relax. They're intense every second. They're not going to play for Larry Eustachy if they're not.
Subs coming in as Iowa State will come back. Richard Evans, a junior from Dallas. You know, he's got some family and friends here out of Kilgore Junior College.
Yeah, in fact, he played at Kimball High School in Dallas. They've produced so many outstanding players. Most notable in the state of Texas right now, Gerald Sasser up at SMU.
Kendrick. Foul. Forget the dunk, but he'll go to the line.
Kendrick's moving very well without the ball this afternoon.
Look at Larry Eustachy.
Nice job by Kendrick finding the opening penetration spot there against the ISU defense. Made the nice follow, but after the foul.
Kendrick at the line trying to cut it to a 10-point game. 30-19 at the moment as Jamie Kendrick eyes it. Kendrick, 75% free throw shooter. Baylor on the year, 62% from the line, 11th in the league.
Iowa State hit 69% there at the top half of the league.
And during this roll of Iowa State's, they've won 22 of their last 24 games. Those only 2 losses were overtime losses on the road in the Big 12 at Colorado and a double overtime at the University of Oklahoma. For the last 9 games, they've been tearing it up at the line, and that has been one of the reasons they've been able to beat the contenders down the stretch.
Absolutely, and let's carry it just a little bit further. They've only got 4 losses. You mentioned 2 of them. One of the other 2 was against number 1 Cincinnati.
Played them early in the year over in Hawaii. Fizer, bounce pass down low, a beauty. In trouble, but up and in, and a foul is called.
That's Evans, the young man from right here in the state of Texas. As you mentioned, played at Kilgore Junior College last year. Iowa State's really doing a nice job of finding the weakness on the baseline against the Baylor zone defense. We have a look at it there. Evans going up strong himself, 6'5", very active player, good vertical jump.
See Evans' numbers in his limited time, misses the free throw. Richards 79% on the year, coming off a 2.4 rebound game against Texas Tech. And just to tell you how good this team is, you know everybody's got them circled on the calendar coming down the stretch, particularly as Greenleaf takes the 3, it won't go. Rayford Young gets 36. and they still get beat 87-79.
It's nice to see Rayford Young finishing up strong. Glad you mentioned him, Bill. One of my all-time favorite players.
Well, he got 36. This guy got 35 in that game. And tonight, what's he done? 16 already, Jim.
Watch Marcus Fizer. We're going to see him do it in so many ways. Uses his quickness, taking the ball, putting it on the floor, inside, going to the paint.
Rancic with a miss.
So strong.
There's Fizer. Right back at Flippin and gets it in. John Flippin in. Back to the live action as Kendrick, the miss on the three-pointer. The rebound quickly, and here come the Cyclones. Quickly and Cyclones seem to run together. Nurse. Fizer got a little lackadaisical, and Black steals it. Oh, my! A little bit of pastry there.
Terry Black, he was the preseason newcomer of the year selection. Don't think he'll finish the year there, but he's got lots of ability. The young man has one of the highest vertical jumps in the conference.
Got the Baylor fans up and at him. Makes it 32-23 with a timeout called here in the final moments of the first half. Going deep comes your way each week. And Sunday night's the place to be. Fox Sports Net at 9. Chris Myers will get inside the heads of death-defying extreme athletes. No, Jim Haller's not one of them. Tomorrow at 9 on Fox Sports Net. Be a part of it.
My partner putting me down right here.
Well, I tell you what I've been trying to figure out here. Iowa State last won a conference title in 1945 when it was then the Big Six. Only one coach in the league was even alive then. That was Eddie Sutton. He was 9 years old. As we take a look at this steal here, what were you doing in 1945?
I was just being born, my man, so I'm giving away a big-time secret.
Oh, I thought you were at WW2.
All you got to do is look at my hair, and you can tell I was born by then.
Well, Black's dunk here is giving a little life to Baylor. Can Iowa State answer? Not yet.
Boy, nice job by Jamie Kendrick, skying for that rebound as we have a chance to look at the turnovers. Baylor Bears been forced into 11 by this harassing Iowa State defense.
But the last one by Iowa State is trying to give Baylor a little opportunity here. Inside a final minute. Kendrick nearly got it swiped. Drops to Flippin, and he gets the easy deuce.
Nice court awareness by Jamie Kendrick then on the dish off to Flippin. Good hands by the big freshman. He was ready, and he took it right to the hoop.
Fizer, speaking of take it to the hoop, and the foul.
When in doubt, get it to big number 5. He's like a Mack truck. When he gets it, he's going to find a way to get there.
It's almost like, Jim, excuse me, it's like, give me the ball, all right, enough of trying to pass it, I'll just go to the line.
Absolutely, have a look again. Marcus Fizer does such a good job of finding the entry lane to get the pass from his teammates. Stepped into the middle of that Baylor zone, made it happen.
Lippett's first foul, Fizer to the line where he's got 16. He's hit his first 4 free throws, now 17 points. 33-25 as Tevis Stukes comes in. You know, we are given about every stat you can find by sports information directors. The one that is the most incredible in reams of material in Iowa State is they found out that it's the first team to 40 that wins. Since Larry Eustachy's been at Iowa State, if they get to 40 before the opponent, they're 33-0. So keep an eye here. We're at a key moment of the game with a 34-25.
Well, I think they look like they're well on their way to another victory, victory 26.
The first to 40 is the key thing for Iowa State. Fizer with 18. Here's Kendrick. 7 seconds differential in the game clock and the shot clock right now. Austin Allen with it out front. 12 in the shot clock. Horton on him.
Well, look how Kantrail Horton moves his feet. 6'1", 225.
Allen gave it up, trying to get it to Stukes. 3-on-1. Johnson before the bucket. No.
Oh.
I think the bucket's going to count and a foul on Austin Allen.
I think they're calling him for the block. Dave Bliss not happy about that, nor is this crowd of some 6,000.
Well, we don't need the refs to come over and look at this, Jim. How about the whistle before the shot?
Yeah, we're going to have a chance to look at it. We have an advantage that the officials do not. Right here, Stevie Johnson on the finish, but we didn't get a look at the charge or the possible charge.
Horton will go to the free throw line, 34-25.
Nice job by Austin Allen getting back defensively that time on another turnover by the Bears.
So 6 seconds to go. Can Baylor get a shot off? Stukes. And there again is that Iowa State pressure. And Iowa State, all that defense, as Fizer leads them with 18 first half points, 5 rebounds, and Iowa State goes in leading by 9 at the half. Stay with us. You're watching Big 12 basketball on Fox Sports Net. We're back with halftime activities in Waco in a moment. 3%. Cyclones not winning the rebounding battle either at 19-12 and points in the paint. But this is a team that can explode on you so quickly. Baylor got back within a couple. The next time you look up, it's a double-digit lead again.
Well, you're exactly right, Bill. Now, you mentioned the rebounding. Iowa State is the second leading rebounding team in this league. Give Baylor credit for doing a good job here this afternoon, particularly by John Flippin, their big 7-foot 3-inch freshman, is really doing a good job inside. But they've got to find a way to slow down Marcus Fizer.
Good luck. Stay with us. We'll see if they can do it. Halftime highlights coming up on Fox Sports Net in a moment.
Marcus Fizer using his strength up and over the 7-foot 3-inch John Flippin. Michael Nurse, the dead eye from the corner for the Cyclones, been doing it all year long. Terrific pure shooter from three-point land.
Fizer and the Cyclones leading it. Fizer with 18. It's 34-25 at the half. Second half coming up on Fox Sports Net. Second half just underway. 34-25. Iowa State the leader. And with the ball in the red, Bill and Jim Haller with you here.
Baylor coming back out in their 2-3 zone once again. Tried to trap on the wing on the first pass.
Nurse fires. And the big three-pointer.
Well, I just thought his favorite spot on the floor was from the corner. That's where he shoots from the most, but a dead eye from the head of the circle also. Good start for the Cyclones.
Nurse matches the biggest lead in the game for Baylor, and it doesn't. Tinsley with the steal. Horton, the nice left hand.
Well, just the kind of start the Baylor Bears could not stand. A turnover right away and a three-pointer by Michael Nurse.
Horton's got 4. Nurse with that 3 has 9. Fizer 18. And for Baylor, Stukes has got 10. 7 for Kendrick, 6 for Black. Inside, Echols with a bucket.
Nice job by Echols sliding down the lane, getting the entry pass from Demarcus Minor.
39-27.
Iowa State content to just look over the zone set and then attack after they figure out where they want to go.
Alley-oop to Fizer off the back of the rim. Stukes for 3, falling down. He drains it.
Bill, believe it or not, that's exactly the spot he hit from against Kansas State to win in the last seconds, and he got knocked down and fell on that effort.
I think he was letting the official know that he felt he also was fouled that time in his own Baptist way.
I like the way you put that.
Good rebound.
What may that be? Maybe we better not elaborate, partner.
Fizer with a rebound, but he stepped out of bounds, and it goes back to Baylor.
Tevis Stukes on the shot from the three-point stripe. He ends up on the ground. The ball ends up in the net. And there is his little sermon to the official, Eddie Jackson.
Baylor down 39-30, but with the ball, and here's Stukes coming up off the 3 again.
Well, not a good shot that time. He was leaning too far to his right. Iowa State right there where they're supposed to be.
And a foul is going down hard is Stukes this time.
There's Iowa State doing a good job in their running game. Most of the evening, Baylor's done a good job of getting back and stopping the transition of Iowa State. They have not converted many baskets off the turnovers. Have a chance to look at Stukes again, running into Stevie Johnson. Not any doubt about who won that little skirmish.
Yeah, he really slipped inside. Here's Fizer trying to draw the foul. Echols with the block, and Fizer will go to the line.
Echols did get all ball, but if you look down low, he got lots of body down around the hips.
Fizer will shoot a pair as Echols picks up his third personal foul with 17:38 to go. Pass on a couple of scores earlier today in the Big 12. A&M beat Nebraska 83-76 in overtime, and Colorado hammered Texas Tech 88-67. Nationally, the big story, #1 ranked Stanford falls in overtime to UCLA by 1, 94-93. And UConn beat Syracuse. That was number 24 over number 9. And Kentucky, number 22, beat Florida, number 8.
Tonight, we might mention in the Big 12, 2 big games. Texas at Kansas State, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and if Iowa State does not win tonight, and Baylor pulls off the upset, the Longhorns and the Cowboys with victories will get a shot at sharing the championship in a 3-way tie for first. That's what we had in the women's action as a 3-way tie for first in the Big 12. Here's Stukes again. The follow by Echols up and in.
Nice job by Baylor.
1:32. 17-11 to go in the ball game, and Baylor trying to hang tough against this 10th rated Iowa State team. Again, they come back to Fizer, wheels on Echols and gets the 2.
Marcus Fizer not only using his ability but his strength right there, and his jumping up and over the good defensive position of the Baylor Bears.
Fizer's got 20 already. On the drive, the travel called against Baylor.
Terry Black making a nice effort trying to split the Iowa State defense, but they're so quick. They rotate and help each other very well. This Coach Dave Bliss and Coach Larry Eustachy continue to exhort their ball clubs.
Fizer with 20. He averages 22, 24 a game in league play. And he has led this team in scoring in 14 straight games coming in here tonight. Even though they've got good balance with Tinsley and Nurse and the others. 43-32. Fizer dumps it off to Tinsley. Johnson, I think Tinsley was looking cross court to Horton, and that one went off the hands of Johnson. So another turnover.
Jamaal Tinsley has been rather quiet here this afternoon from the offensive standpoint, but continuing to do a terrific job of being the floor leader for the Cyclones.
Minor. Black down low to Echols. The tip by Black.
That was a tip by Jamie Kendrick. Nice job of following from the offside. He saw Ben Echols shaping up. Did a real good job of positioning himself. Nice anticipation by the senior.
The 3 won't go. Echols finally clears it. Here comes Tevis Stukes. He cut it to 7. Stukes. Black on the follow.
The Baylor making a terrific comeback, down 14. Now they've cut it to 7. 2 straight offensive rebounds by the Baylor Bears have enabled them to get back in the contest.
So the Bears on the backboards, and it's a 7-point game after being down 14, 39-25 in the early moments here of the second half. Well, the last word. Hold on here, Jim. We got a little business to take care of. Jim Rome. Surprised he hadn't had you on the show, by the way. Jim Rome with the last word. Weeknights at 11:30. The nightline, if you will, of sports talk shows. And check it out on Fox Sports Net with Romey.
I think a good point to talk about right now is the fact that Iowa State has out-rebounded opponents all year long. They've done a terrific job of controlling the glass. Baylor, though, has put themselves back in the ball game because of 2 terrific offensive putbacks. That one by Jamie Kendrick, and then the last basket was another follow-up by Terry Black.
And now Black's got 8 points, and Baylor within 7 at 43-36. Trying to turn up a little defensive pressure of their own, although they stay in the zone. Nurse with it, looking to Fizer, triple team. Nurse, knocked away and stolen, comes off to Flippin. Kendrick. Iowa State reacts so well defensively to get back and find their men. Minor kicks it off. Greenleaf in trouble. And he dragged the pivot foot. The walk is called.
Terrific defensive pressure by Michael Nurse led to another Baylor Bear turnover.
Timeout is called. Larry Eustachy trying to put the wraps on a Big 12 championship. Cyclones by 7, a long way to go.
People ask me how they can learn to hit perfect shots. I tell them.
By 6, obviously that is the key point as to why Baylor has stayed in the ball game. It certainly hadn't been their shooting percentage.
The steal by Black, lost control, tipped it away, and it comes to Tinsley. Here come the Cyclones. Another near steal, but Tinsley maintains. Flips it out to Horton.
Second block of the afternoon by the 7'3" freshman from Evant, Texas. Young man learns and gets better every time he steps on the floor.
Fizer just flipped him out of the way, coming through the lane. Here's Horton, 10 on the shot clock for the Cyclones.
Baylor's zone defense much more active here in the second half, doing a much better job. Kantrail Horton shooting from further out than he normally likes.
I don't think that's what Larry Eustachy wanted.
That was a step and a half outside the tray line.
Foul is called on Iowa State's Nurse, driving to the basket, Demarcus Minor.
Nice move by Demarcus Minor. He cleared the side out, felt like he had an advantage, did get the quick first step on the Cyclone defense.
First foul of the second half on Iowa State.
That's just amazing in the type of defensive pressure they play. Always under control. Good move here by Demarcus Minor.
Long three by Stukes as we come back to the live action, and it airballs out of bounds. Certainly not what Dave Bliss wanted either.
Baylor going to their half-court trapping defense, but Iowa State, as usual, well prepared. Gets the ball to Michael Nurse right in the middle.
Let's see if they don't let Fizer touch the basketball here before this shot attempt. Nurse moves it to Horton. There's Fizer. Over flipping. Fizer keeping it alive. The save, and it comes to Baylor's Stukes. Here come the Bears. Stukes looking for an opening. Too hard. Rebound the other way by Evans.
Tevis Stukes was wanting to get a foul, wanting to draw a foul that time, wasn't able to do it.
Fizer wanting the same thing and flipping, controlling the paint.
You know, that last example that Tevis Stukes driving and Iowa State not fouling, that's what you've been pointing out all afternoon, Bill. They don't make silly fouls.
Inside, Stukes. Oh my goodness, the layup by Stukes.
Terrific move without the ball by Tevis Stukes. He came from the offside, splitting the Iowa State defense.
Terry Black went down. Official checked with him. He's okay and up and at him now.
Good scorers find a way to get open. That time Tevis Stukes came from the offside. Look at him going down the lane, splitting the Iowa State crimson shirts. Good move by the senior 5'11" guard. He may be the league's #1 3-point shooter, but he's also good at going to the bucket.
Backdoor Fizer. Oh, and they call the foul on Flippin. I'll be honest, Jim. I think of the last 3 attempts, that was the cleanest of the block attempts by Flippin. The other 2 weren't called. This one, Fizer will go to the line.
Well, John Flippin is gaining confidence. He's going tough against the league's #1 big man. Right there, Marcus Fizer went up. They must have thought that Flippin got him with his hip underneath. I didn't see it. It looked like he had all leather to me.
And they gave the foul to Kendrick. What they're got
there
on the
must have been a
scoreboard.
reach in.
Yeah.
We were right. We didn't see Flippin make the foul.
And Fizer misses the free throw to the delight of the Baylor crowd. And the Bears bring Nahi back in. Let's take another look as Kendrick comes out. That is his second foul, 3 team fouls. Here's
Let's
one more
watch
shot.
for number 21 right there. Yes, he came down on the slap. Flippin was clean. We were right. He had all leather. Kendrick reached in underneath. Gosh, I hate to brag on referees making the right call, but they did that time. More times than not, they do it well.
Yeah, it does hurt, doesn't it? Black with it behind the arc. And he'll go to the line, and there's Flippin. You know, not just that, of course, doesn't count, but the previous time when Stukes slipped through, Flippin again was attacking the glass. Baylor's really gotten into the whole flow of the game.
Well, they're playing so much better here in the second half. They just seem to be more confident, playing with a purpose and with a plan.
Dave Bliss looking on as Fizer's got 22, but he's finally missed a couple free throws. Black banks it in.
Did you see him call bank before he shot that one?
That, my friends, is what happens when you shoot 37% from the line.
Terry Black is a terrific basketball player, just not a real good shooter. Has great speed, oh my goodness, maybe he is trying to bank him in now. Oh, a new strategy.
You do 2 in a row, it isn't luck. 43-40, we've got a game all of a sudden. Nurse kicks it off, Fizer lost control. See if Baylor can play with some poise here as the crowd has gotten it revved up.
Well, Demarcus Minor is a good point guard. He's done a good job all year for the Bears.
Stukes misses the 3, and there's Fizer at the other end to pull it down.
Well, the crowd really into it now. The league's #1 team will bring it out of you.
Nurse for 3. Johnson on the boards, and he gets the putback. Stevie Johnson, just 6'4", but averages 5 rebounds a game.
And you said it earlier, shooting 71% from the field. He doesn't ever shoot from very far out. The conference's #1 field goal percentage shooter.
And not very often a 6'4" guy takes 1 3 a season, which is what he's taken this year. We may have a foul on Baylor coming over the back
here. I think
here.
Flippin came over the back of one of the crimson-shirted Cyclones. Baylor probably should have taken a little more time right there. Down by 5, probably could have gotten a better shot.
Well, Fizer's put on a show, but one of the seniors, Stevie Johnson, with a huge bucket here to put Iowa State up 5.
It's huge, it's wild, and it's time. It's Ford Truck Month. Time to get a stampede of savings on the best SUVs in the Lone Star State, including Texas bestseller Ford Explorer, now just $299 a month. Or get great low 3.9 financing on Ford Expedition. And check out the all-new Explorer Sport, Sport Track, and Excursion. For great truck month deals, get the Ford Outfitters at your Texas Ford dealer today.
Little shopping today? Right this way, man. Can I ask you what's in the bag?
It's just
Overpriced vitamins. Do you like paying too much? People, these guys just mark them up. Puritan's Price got your vitamins at fantastic prices. Thousands of them. Trust me. All you do is dial this number, dial, and you get the free catalog. Buy one, and you get one free. Okay, not good enough for you? How about buy 2, get 3 free? So, that's better. Puritan's Pride. They're manufacturers. They cut out the middleman. He's not there anymore. So call the number. Visit the website yourself. Order the free catalog. It's a good deal. You ought to do it. See why people have been ordering direct for over 25 years. Buy one, get one free. Or buy 2 and get 3 free. You order, they deliver, you save. It really couldn't be simpler. You follow?
Puritan's Pride is America's #1 way to shop at home for vitamins. So call for your free catalog or visit the website and start saving today.
So call the number. I'm sorry about pushing you through the door.
Rockets basketball, Tuesday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
It up, and I'll try to illustrate it.
45-40, Iowa State by 5. As you look at Marcus Fizer, held to 4 in the second half after 18 in the first half. Bill Land and Jim Haller with you here in Waco.
Baylor trying their half-court defense, trapped once again. Here we're having a look at Terry Black on the penetration. Key point for Baylor. John Flippin right there, the big freshman, challenging Marcus Fizer aggressively on the boards.
And Fizer comes back here in the live action to get a bucket, make it 47-40. 10:42 to go. Fizer with 24. Baylor throws it away. Johnson out hustling Kendrick. The pass to Tinsley in the bucket.
Well, the timeout definitely made a difference to the Cyclones, coming out with renewed vigor now. A determined ball club once again.
And Kendrick hesitated. That ball was thrown in the backcourt. Tinsley spotted bucket. Kendrick in a moment thinking, well, we're going to lose the ball, but you still got to give the chase to avoid giving up the bucket.
Have a chance to see the action again as Iowa State, Stevie Johnson, the 6'4" power forward, beating Jamie Kendrick to the ball. Another turnover for the Baylor Bears. That's been the biggest thorn in their side all afternoon. All the good they've done on the boards is being negated by their ineptness at handling the basketball against Iowa State pressure.
We got a pretty good fight going here. Sunday night fights come your direction, Fox Sports Net. Junior middleweight Massimino Maso will look to move up in the rankings along with undefeated super featherweight Robbie Peden. And it should be great action tomorrow at 7 on Fox Sports Net. And of course, Fox Sports News nightly at 10 immediately following. 4,815 here tonight. Many of them Iowa State fans, as Baylor has been tough. Echols the tip, fighting for it. Iowa State wins, Nurse saves. Cyclones up 9. Cyclones have already got a share of the Big 12 title. They win tonight, it's theirs outright, regardless of how Oklahoma State and Texas come out. The 3 by Nurse.
That's Michael Nurse's, isn't that his 4th three-pointer of the afternoon?
Nurse, yep, is now 4 of 8 from behind the arc. He's got a dozen.
Well, he's always ready. He's got himself in position to shoot the ball quickly. Does it so very well. Nice penetration by Demarcus Minor, putting it to the Iowa State defense. Got that quick first step, took advantage of it. Demarcus Minor, this is something we have not mentioned. He has played more minutes than any other player in the Big 12 this year. He's only missed 14 minutes of action the entire season.
Incredible. Echols with a rebound off Nurse's long miss here. We talked Iowa State had a quick 9-0 run, Jim, and it just changed the tone of the game after Baylor had pulled.
Cut it to 43-40. Iowa State's outscored them 9-2 here in the last couple of minutes. Oh, beautiful job by Tevis Stukes, taking the ball to the basket so well. See, they have him scouted as a three-point shooter, so they're playing him very, very tight. He's taking advantage of that and just blowing to the basket.
14 for Stukes with a 52-44. Look at Fizer going at it with Echols inside. That's a fun matchup to watch. Fizer floating in and out of that zone.
Well, and Baylor's done a much better job on Fizer this half. Not a good job on Stevie Johnson, however, but they've held Fizer to only 4 points here in the second 20 minutes of action.
Great pass, and Johnson's got a half dozen. 10-point game against Stukes fighting, and he'll go to the line for his effort.
Well, you've got to admire the determination of Tevis Stukes here this afternoon. Take a look at this. Iowa State plays him real tight. As I said a while ago, they consider him a three-point threat first. So they've got to be up on him. Now he's taking the opportunity to use his quickness and go to the glass. Iowa State not rotating as quickly on defense as I've seen them in earlier games this season.
Well, and Stukes, he has earned his points tonight as he makes it 54-45. Stukes with 15 and hits this one. But Stukes has been hot. He had 27 against Kansas State, 22 against Kansas, and 23 against Colorado coming in here tonight. (54-46), Iowa State by 8. Again, the baseline, and there again, Stevie Johnson from Tinsley. So much attention to Fizer, and it's opening up for Johnson.
Absolutely, and we talk about Stevie Johnson getting the basket, but another terrific assist by Jamaal Tinsley, the league's #2 assist man.
Kick off to Flippin, way outside of his zone. Greenleaf, the follow, and a foul!
Wendell Greenleaf slipping inside. He's a terrific athlete. He's a freshman from Galena Park North Shore High School outside of Houston.
Baylor fans,
take a look at Wendell Greenleaf now off of the wild shot by John Flippin. Greenleaf attacks the glass, going between the two red-shirted Cyclones, bringing Baylor back within 8.
Fizer's first foul. And the three-point play is good for Baylor. Bears not done yet. Tevis Stukes leading the way with 16 for the Bears. 56-49 Cyclones. Back 56-49. Iowa State does such a great job of moving the ball. Let's take a look at an example of that.
We'll have a chance to see how well Iowa State moves the ball. Now, so we're going to stop it right there. Iowa State has the basketball on the wing. When Baylor converges to the baseline, you're going to see Stevie Johnson pass it back out for the easy 3 by Michael Nurse.
And Nurse with 4 threes tonight has helped Iowa State to a 7-point lead. They have the basketball. Bill and Jim Haller with you at the Ferrell Center here in Waco. So far this half, the Cyclones more like their season mark at 50%. And Fizer finds his way to the glass for another bucket. Now has 26 of their 58.
Using his strength, his quickness, and his soft shooting touch all combined there to make the last basket possible.
Foul is called. It'll be against Baylor. Wendell Greenleaf out of Houston North Shore picks up the personal foul. Baylor now, his first and team foul number 5 for the Bears. Stukes back in for Coach Dave Bliss to replace Greenleaf. Tinsley brings it up. We talked about awards. This guy very well could win the newcomer of the year in the Big 12, or the Big 12 rookie of the year, if you will.
Well, there's a lot of good candidates for the newcomer of the year. I'd say the freshman of the year is probably going to be Bernard King of Texas A&M.
A great first year. Here's Tinsley with 13 on the shot clock. Nurse. Tinsley, they collapsed on it. Stukes failed to pick it up. Thankfully for Baylor, Black was right there. Back out to Minor. Pawing away and stealing, Tinsley.
Well, Demarcus Minor dribbled right into the double team of the Iowa State defense. Jamaal Tinsley has such quick hands. Just got the easy pick from Demarcus Minor.
On the drive, and the foul is called. Baylor has done a good job consistently, Jim, of attacking. Sometimes they've been a little bit out of control, but against this Iowa State team, you've got to take it to them the way they come out and get you.
That's a good point, Bill, and I couldn't agree more. Dave Bliss and his staff, obvious that they plan to attack. Iowa State pressures so much one pass away that if you just have confidence in your ability to put the ball on the floor, you can find some seams in that defense to take advantage of, and Tevis, Stukes, and Demarcus Minor have both done that very well this afternoon.
Fizer's second foul, team foul number 5 on the Cyclones as Minor hits the free throw to make it a 10-point game. Minor with his 3rd point. 16 for Stukes, 12 for Kendrick, and 10 for Black for Baylor.
Now, I mentioned Minor and Stukes, but Jamie Kendrick has gotten most of his points off of penetrating quickly to the free throw lane and jumping up and taking the 10 to 12-foot jump shot.
Fizer with 26 points. He attracts some attention. Horton, nice move to Tinsley. Dump low to Fizer. Couldn't find a handle, though, and Kendrick comes up with it for the Bears.
Nice job by Baylor sagging back in there in their zone defense, taking away the passing lanes to the inside.
Turnovers mount again for the Cyclones. That's a dozen now. Here's Fizer on the backboards after the miss by Kendrick.
Nice job by Fizer. We've just bragged on him so much this afternoon, but he just continues to make big play after big play.
60-51 as Nurse drops it to Fizer. He pulls up on the jumper and gets fouled, and we'll go to the free throw line.
Fizer probably on his way to another double-double, 26 points and 7 rebounds. Nice job by Fizer drawing the foul from the Baylor defenders. They came to double team as soon as he worked on the baseline.
Well, Fizer came in number 9 in career scoring at Iowa State, and they've had some great scorers over the years. Jeff Grayer, Herkel Ivey, if you go way back, and some of those, Fred Hoiberg, some great players.
Jeff Hornacek, didn't he go to Iowa State?
Yeah. 1,637 points coming in. He's also number 14 in rebounding career-wise, needing 27 for this year to move all the way up to number 8 and replace Lauren Meyer. This is a guy who's a junior. So think if he would come back, he don't know about every mark they've got up there.
Absolutely. He and Chris Milne are in the same situation. If they both come back, they'll rewrite the record books at their respective institutions.
62-51 as he hits both free throws here. He's got 28 today, and he's at 10 of 12 from the line. Black, good pass. Flippin just wasn't ready.
Well, that was a hard pass to handle right overhead there. Good idea by Black, but Flippin's just not ready to handle that kind of pass.
Flippin's attention already directed toward the possible rebound. Back out to Horton now for the Cyclones.
Baylor staying in their 2-3 zone, collapsing more in the second half than they did in the first 20 minutes of action, making it harder to get the ball in the paint area.
Iowa State does such a nice job of, if the break is there, they're all over you. If not, they're very patient. Even if it ends up being a long shot by Nurse, he's shown you his ability to hit those today.
You know, we talk about Baylor getting a lot of penetration this afternoon. But, oh, my goodness. Great move by Jamie Kendrick. Just didn't get the follow, and now the frustration foul by Terry Black. You know what I was going to point out, Bill, as they go down now for free throws. Well, here we have a look at Jamie Kendrick again, making the nice, quick power move to the baseline. Should have had the easy flush. He's up plenty high, just misjudged his finish. The point I wanted to make was Baylor has gotten a lot of driving, attacking the seams of the Iowa State defense, but by playing them so tight on the outside, they've taken away the three-point shots of Baylor, so Baylor hadn't hit near as many three-pointers as they usually do.
Yeah, here's Nurse at the line. He's got 13 points. Nurse has been a 72% free thrower, but 84% over the last 9 games when he's really picked up his scoring.
Now, see, talking about those three-point shots, Baylor's only made 4. That's way below their season average.
4 of 16. And Iowa State on the work of the backboards, and Fizer, the follow-up, guess what? He's got 30 again.
Well, he's averaged, as we said earlier, 32 per game over the last 4. Add that over the last 5 now.
4:14 to go, and Fizer may be a guy that the last time that anybody had 40 for Iowa State was 41 by Fred Hoiberg back in '95. With 4:14 to go, Fizer.
Well, what a way to finish the conference season. His last 5 games in the league, his lowest total was 29 points. That was against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, he's done this against great defensive teams like Texas and Oklahoma State. Baylor has played very good defense here tonight.
Well, and Texas Tech's a good defensive team, and he did it against the Red Raiders, going for 35.
Iowa State smelling a title that they won't have to share. Up 14 with inside 4 minutes to go, and they'll kill some clock now.
You know what's ironic? Last year, the University of Texas clinched the championship on this court. Iowa State will do likewise here this year.
Fizer steps out, can't hit the deuce. The rebound, Echols releases to Stukes. Well, Baylor, if they're going to make one more run, they're going to have to hit some threes.
Well, and Iowa State is just playing them so tight, they're not giving them the opportunity.
They're 4 of 16 from behind the arc. Iowa State is 4 of 17. Neither team shot well from the three-point range. Timeout is called by Baylor. 3:21 to go in the game. 22 on the shot clock for Dave Bliss's Bears. With our score 65-51. Want to remind you to stay with us for the Texas girls 5A championship game between Plano and
tournament. We're going to have 2 of the University of Texas big signees. Jason Klotz played here this afternoon for Klein Forest High School. They'll be advancing to the state Final Four. And Brian Boddicker for Duncanville won today, so both of those young men will be there. Looking forward to seeing future Big 12 players in action.
Baylor. Stukes. Take it to the basket. The foul and the bucket will count.
What a nice job Tevis Stukes is doing in his last home game for the Baylor Bears. Guarded very tightly on the perimeter. He once again attacks the Iowa State defense using his quickness to split the Crimson Shirts.
Horton called for the foul, his third, 17 fouls each way. And Stukes gets the three-point play to make it 65-54.
Good look at Coach Dave Bliss there, getting ready to further instruct his troops.
They're hanging tough. Don't go away. Iowa State has already clinched the #1 seed for the Big 12 tournament. They'd like sole possession of the championship by winning tonight, and then they wouldn't have to worry about what happens with Oklahoma State or with Texas. First round buys to the top 4. Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Texas. The Cyclones are the top seeds. Oklahoma could finish anywhere from 2nd to 5th. And Kansas still has a shot at finishing in that top 4.
Well, it's real simple for Kansas. If they beat Missouri tomorrow at home, they get the 4th seed.
And Baylor's either 8 or 9, and they're going to play 8 or 9. In fact, 9 will be, I think,
they will either
play
Nebraska or Texas A&M in the first game of the tournament next Thursday.
get set with A&M after the victory today by the Aggies. Fizer and the rebound to Echols. And then Iowa State with a bye would meet who? The winner of the 8 versus 9 game. So you could see Baylor and Iowa State again in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 tournament.
If Baylor beats Nebraska or Texas A&M.
Foul is going to be called on Echols, and Fizer will go to the line with 2:23 to go.
Well, today is a good indicator of the depth problem that Iowa State has. We've only seen 7 different players in action for Iowa State. It's very fortunate that they earned the right to have that first round bye, because at the most now they would just have to play 3 games in a row in as many days. What they're really striving for now is as high a seed as possible when the invitations to the NCAA tournament come out next Sunday. I would have to think they've got a real good chance to be as high as a number 3 seed.
Yeah, because if you add the things that are important to the committee,
how you finish the season,
the playing well at the end of the year. I mean, obviously they've won 21 of 23 now down the stretch, and those 2 being overtime losses. And the strength of schedule with the Big 12 being so well balanced with those top 6 teams, that's going to play in their favor. Echols. Iowa State is also setting a record for wins in a season, with this being 26. Previous best was their 24-7 year back in '96. And what a turnaround. They were 15-15 in Larry Eustachy's first year. Here they sit, about to become 26-4.
Well, an 11-game turnaround in the regular season is phenomenal. I would be surprised if that didn't lead the nation in that category.
Baylor with a miss at the free throw as their first of the night. They had hit 12 straight to start. And that's the thing. Baylor hadn't played bad, and they're still down 13 with 2 minutes to go. Fizer.
Big, strong, quick, impressive Marcus Fizer showing it all here this afternoon. What a talent to have the privilege to watch.
He's got 34. His next bucket will be a new career high. We saw him establish the 35 as a career high against Texas. Here's his last one.
What explosiveness the young man has from Louisiana, taking advantage of every opportunity he gets here this afternoon in probably his last regular season game as an Iowa State Cyclone. He's so developed, Bill. I hope he comes back to Iowa State, but he's a guy that's prepared to step into the NBA right now.
Yeah, if he wants to be a millionaire, he doesn't need to call Regis. No problem. Fox Sports News, get all of the day's scores and highlights and breaking stories tonight at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports News. They'll wrap up all the exciting college basketball as well as what's been going on with your favorite pro teams, whether it be the NHL or the NBA.
Something interesting about Iowa State, they've been in the state of Texas since Tuesday. They played out at Texas Tech. They never went home. They stayed in Lubbock and worked out on Thursday, then came in here Friday and worked out and playing today. So they've been away from home quite a while.
Yeah, and then go home. I imagine they will charter home this evening, and then they'll be in Kansas City the first part of next week as the action begins on Thursday with the quarterfinal, or the first round, and then the quarterfinals Friday, semis Saturday, and the championship on Sunday at Kansas City's Kemper Arena. And the fans now, the Iowa State.
Well, a real tribute to this basketball team is the phenomenal following they've had to come with them to Waco, Texas. Kantrail Horton, 6'1", 225 pounds of finesse on the three-point shot. But my point is that Iowa State brought a charter plane down here with over 150 fans to support their ball club.
Johnson high up, Fizer the follow, kept it alive, and it comes back out to the Cyclones. Well, let's see if they give Fizer another opportunity to get that career high.
Well, they're certainly to be congratulated. Go on the road, win their last 2 to clinch the championship at Texas Tech and at Baylor.
72-54 in the final seconds here. Your Big 12 champions the Iowa State Cyclones. And another three by Horton.
Kantrail Horton, a junior college transfer, adding a little emphasis to the exclamation point for the Cyclones.
Stukes the miss the other way. Tinsley, here's Fizer. Will he get it? No, he doesn't. And Iowa State doesn't make any difference. Black, the missed dunk, and that's the ball game. Iowa State, Big 12 champs, all by themselves. The first conference title for Iowa State since 1945. And the first Big 12 championship that the school has won in this, the 4th year of the conference. Larry Eustachy gets a congratulations from Dave Bliss and the crew from Baylor. Cyclone fans revel in the championship. 14-2, 26-4 overall. And the Cyclones, 10th ranked in the country and certain to move up in the polls with a pair of impressive road victories here in the state of Texas this week. Fizer with 34 on 11 of 21 from the floor, 12 of 14 from the line. He had 8 rebounds to go along with that. Horton with 10, Nurse with 13. Baylor was led by 19 from Tevis Stukes, and Kendrick's a dozen. Terry Black had 12. The Big 12 champions, the Iowa State Cyclones, and the new t-shirts. Where the Cyclones are celebrating and enjoying it all. 75-54. Bill and Jim Haller with you. And, you know, I'm sure they like to have won it at Hilton Coliseum, Jim, where they went unbeaten this year at 18-0. But there's something special about winning it on the road in a league like this.
Well, and you've got to admire the way they play the game. They do every phase very, very well. You hit the nail on the head. To go to Texas Tech and to Baylor away from your home court and secure the championship means you're very, very good, and they did it in style this afternoon.
And I don't know if people really understand.
I told him we was going to do it.
Let's get this, Jamaal. You came through and things got a little tight, but you came through with some big plays and penetration and some great assists.
I just had to play through all the turnovers and just box out and just kick the ball to the guy that was open, and they just hit all the shots.
Way to go, and this time I'm going to get it right. Let's go to Kansas City and do it well, all right? All right. Nice going. Undisputed champs, and now we go back to Bill.
Thank you, Gary. A year ago, Iowa State was 15-15 on the year. Some folks in preseason publications thought this team may not get out of the cellar in the Big 12 Conference. Well, they proved a lot of people wrong. Finishing the year as the conference champions. They're ranked in one poll, 10th in the country, 14th by ESPN. They've now won 4 straight games heading into the conference tournament. Baylor, by the way, finishes the regular season 13-14, doubling last year's win total. A real good season for Dave Bliss. They will head to the conference tournament as the 8th or 9th seed, 5-12 in conference play. A solid year for Baylor and company. But really the story of tonight and the story of the season in the Big 12 Conference is Larry Eustachy and his Iowa State Cyclones. And Gary Thompson, I know you've got some more folks coming over to visit with you about this ever so sweet victory. Take it away.
Well, we got Stevie Johnson back with us now. And Stevie, senior year, there have been some down seasons, but this has been one, it's been unbelievable. It's Hollywood fairy tale. I don't know what you call it, but you guys have gotten it done the whole year.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels great because nobody expected anything out of us except ourselves, you know. At the media day, beginning of the season, they picked us just to be happy to go to the NIT, and this year we finished #1 in the Big 12 Conference, so it's really special.
I think I read in the paper a quote that you said about your coach, and I think it's worthwhile for you to repeat it again. Today, commenting about Larry Eustachy being something special and making you guys believe.
I mean, whatever he tells us, I mean, we know we can do it. He's a great coach, and I think he's the best coach in the nation, and I mean, we're getting it done, and he put out a game plan, and we get it done, and we win ball game.
But you said something, too. You quoted as something like, when he tells us to do something, we'll run through a brick wall trying to get it done.
If he tells us we can do it, we believe in him, and then we go out and we try to do it.
Okay, we're going to get Marcus in here. Stay right here, Marcus. You've had a dream year, and I tell you, there's nobody deserves that's going to be player of the year in this Big 12 conference, and it's been super. You put this team on your back really for the last 3 weeks. I know you've got great support from this team. You do too, but you've really played like a big-time player that you are.
Yeah, my game this year has soared into levels that I never thought it would be at, but I give all the credit to my guard play and to my coaching staff. They're on me each and every day, harder and harder each and every day, and the guards came out, and they're the ones who giving me the ball, you know, to make great plays.
Marcus, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference in this guy from last year to this year? You tell them.
Just, you know, being totally receptive to coaches, you know, listening to the coaching staff and playing harder and harder, you know, having that #1 goal in our eyes, you know, and in our heart, and set that goal, and we came out and accomplished it this year.
This is so much fun. I'm sure you're going to want to come back next year, right?
Well, I don't know about that yet.
All right. Thanks, Marcus, and good luck. All right, let's go back to Bill.
Thank you, Gary. Once again, Iowa State knocks off Baylor. The next Iowa State Cyclone basketball game on the ESPN Plus Cyclone Television Network will be next season. We've enjoyed bringing you Cyclone basketball this year, and we want to wish the Cyclones good luck in the upcoming Big 12 tournament and the NCAA tournament to follow. Our final score tonight was Iowa State 75, Baylor 54. This Cyclone basketball telecast has been a production of ESPN Plus.